Welcome everyone to today's meditation. This is our Grow with GoGo programming, and every other week we're offering either chair yoga or strength training, or functional fitness is what we're calling that. So we're happy you're here. You might have discovered GoGo because you needed one of these services. So just know that with one phone call to 855-464-6872, you can get rides, meals, groceries, prescription deliveries, and home services. And now with our new programming, you also have access to these virtual events. Another thing I want to flag for you is that as a GoGo member, you have a special referral code, and you can find it at the bottom of your receipt. Every receipt you get from GoGo, you have a special code, and that code, when you give it to a friend or a loved one, if they redeem it, if they call in and give that code and register with GoGo, you'll both get $10 in credits. So just a nice way to share with your friends, and you get a little something too. But enough about that. I'm Cassie, I'm GoGo's communications director, and every week we have Aja who leads the way, so I'm gonna pass it over to her.
Great, thanks, Cassie. Hi, everyone. I'm seeing, of course, our usual faces and names, but a lot of new people today. So it's really great to have you here. Welcome to our chair yoga class. So today, all that you need is a chair. Generally, it's a little bit better if it's a chair that doesn't wheel around, but use what you have. A couch would also be fine. Wherever you can sit comfortably. Most of this class is seated, but we do stand up for a couple of minutes. The standing is optional. Before we get moving, does anybody remember the move of the week from, not from functional fitness, but from yoga? So not from last week, but the week before. Does anyone remember what the move of the week was? And you could either unmute yourself or put it in the chat. And if you're new, every week I choose one move for you to try and practice throughout the week. It's just a nice way to try and integrate our yoga into our daily lives. No one remembers the move of the week. No prizes, just gold stars for this. So also no penalty if you get it wrong. Torso circles, Nancy, you got it. Nice, good remembering. Great, so that was the move last week. And today I'll give you a new move that you'll try and remember for the following yoga session. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. So finding your seat. If you're having a hard time seeing me because you're seeing a whole group of people, you're going to go to the top right-hand corner of your computer and check and see. There'll be these little boxes. You want to pick speaker view instead of gallery view. If you want to see everybody, go ahead and pick gallery view. If you're on a phone, you usually have to swipe until you get the view that you want. So you just swipe right to left to get that view that you want. All right, we'll begin with our move from last week with some torso circles. So the sit bones, stay grounded in your chair, begin to circle your torso. Just waking up the body, noticing how it's feeling today, noticing any tight spots, noticing spots that feel good. And go ahead and circle the other direction. So just a reminder that this is your time and your practice. So if at any point you want to modify, you want to add something, subtract something, you're absolutely welcome to do so. Listen to your body. Find what's best for you today. Make your way back to center. We'll inhale, press the chest forward and squeeze those elbows back. I'm going to sideways so you can see. You can just stay where you are. And then exhale, round your back, drop your chin, tuck your pelvis, and push your hands forward. Inhale, squeeze the elbows back, shoulder blades hug together, chest lifts, head lifts, and then exhale, round, hands come forward. We tuck our pelvis and drop the chin. Keep going at your own pace. So we're opening the chest and then opening the back body, adding some arm movement with that cat-cow, that seated cat-cow movement. Jaw stays relaxed. And then making your way back to center. Let's go ahead and roll our shoulders forward. So nice big shoulder rolls forward. And then nice big shoulder rolls back. Relax those shoulders. We'll inhale, circle the arms out to the side and then up towards the sky, reaching as tall as is comfortable here. Exhale, palms touch, hands come down towards the heart. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Stopping wherever you need. Exhale, hands come down. If you have any shoulder injuries, maybe you just do one arm, totally fine. Last time, inhale, arms circle out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. With the hands to the heart, interlace your fingers. I'm going to come closer so you can see. We're going to interlace those fingers and then push those palms forward. Go ahead and stretch out those forearms. One more breath here. And release the hands, shake it off. And we'll rotate our spine. Let's twist to the right. Both hands go to the right. If you have an armrest, hands can find your armrest, or hands can go outside of your leg or chair. And we'll hold for a few breaths. Noticing how far you can twist to this one direction. And then unwind and twist the other way. Twisting to our left, hands can find your armrest or can find your leg or the chair. Twist and hold. And go ahead and unwind. Arms rest alongside the body. I want you to imagine that you're in a narrow hallway. So there's a wall directly in front of your face and a wall directly behind your back. You don't want to touch the walls of this hallway because they're covered in paint. We're going to side bend. So there's no twisting around it back. We're just doing a pure side bend. So side bend to your right. Reach those right fingertips downward. Make sure you don't touch the wall in front of you or behind you. Push down into that left hip as you exhale, lift yourself up. And then side bend to the other side. And back up. So let's add the breathing. So we inhale into the side bend. Exhale, lift back up. Inhale into the other side bend. Exhale, back up. Keep going at your own pace. So don't worry about my speed or anybody else's. Move at your own pace. Maybe about one more time each side.
Adria, can you hear me? It's Cassie.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, would it be possible to lower, you know how you have your lamp to your left? Maybe have it spotlight you a little. I think it would maybe make it easier to see all the movements you're doing. Or it'll look like you're being interrogated by a detective. And I don't know if that if that will help, but just want to make sure.
Is this better or?
I think maybe if it's more in front of you, is it possible to move it just a little bit more in front? Sorry, everybody. I'm feeling good about this.
Like that?
Yeah, I think it might be clearer, but maybe just for me. If I think let's go with this. This sounds good.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a hug. So wrap your arms around your torso. And then we're going to twist here. So with our arms wrapped around our torso, we're going to inhale, rotate one way. And exhale, rotate the other way. Keep going. Yeah, we have a storm brewing here in San Francisco. So I have huge windows in this room, but not very much light is coming through today. All right, go ahead and come back to center. Take note of which arm is on top, because we're going to switch. Inhale, open up the arms, and then switch other arm on top. Give yourself a hug, wrapping those arms. Same thing. We inhale, twist one direction, and exhale, twist the other way. Keep going. And then making your way back to center, releasing those arms. Let's go ahead and stretch those legs a little bit. We're going to straighten the right leg out in front of us. I'm turning sideways so you can see, but you do not need to move. So we're going to straighten the right leg out in front of us. We'll inhale, lean forward, feel the back of the leg stretch, intensify. And then exhale, sit nice and tall. We inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lift back up. Keep going at your own pace. So just following your breath, leaning forward and then lifting back up. There's no rush, but next time you're sitting nice and tall, go ahead and pause. Decide where you want to hold the stretch. So you could stay upright to hold the stretch. You could lean forward and be on your hands to hold the stretch. You could also bring your forearm to your thigh or reach your hand to your shin or your toes. Hold the stretch for about a minute. So just make sure it's somewhere comfortable, but also slightly challenging where you really feel the back of the leg stretching. Go ahead and lift yourself back up. Bend that right knee. And windshield wiper your knees side to side, just shaking it off. We're switching sides. So now left leg stretches forward in front of you. We'll inhale, lean forward, intensifying the stretch, feeling a little more opening in the back of the leg. And then exhale, sitting nice and tall. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lifting back up. Keep going. Follow your breath. Next time you're sitting tall, we'll pause and then decide where you want to be. You can stay upright. You can lean forward with your hands supporting you. You could bring your forearm to your leg, or maybe bring your hand to your toes or your shin. So just holding the stretch for several breaths. And go ahead and lift yourself back up, rebend that knee, and go ahead and windshield wiper those knees side to side, just shaking it off. We're going into some heel raises. So from your seated position, balls of the feet and toes. So the front of the feet stay on the ground. Front of the feet stay on the ground. And then we're going to lift our heels off of the ground and then lower them back down. So keep going here. We're lifting and lowering our heels. So we're doing calf raises. Toes and balls of the feet stay down. Both legs can move at once. If you start to get tired, you could alternate, lifting one heel and then the other. Couple more like this. And now we'll move into marching. If you prefer, you can stay with alternating heel raises, or you're going to lift your foot completely off the ground, pulling that knee up. I'm just moving sideways so you can see, and then back down. So we're lifting and lowering those knees, marching. As you march, try and keep your torso upright. So try not to lean back every time you lift the leg. We want to keep the torso still so that we're getting those legs doing the movement. Keep going, couple more. And then go ahead and take a little rest, both feet on the ground, pausing for a moment. Now we're going to kick one leg forward in front of us. So we're straightening one leg forward and then bending that knee, foot comes back down. And then straightening the other leg and bending. So we're alternating here. So thighs stay where they are. We're just bending and straightening those legs, reaching those toes up towards the ceiling. Next time we have our right leg straight in front of us, pause, little pulses up towards the ceiling with the leg. So the straight leg is reaching up to the ceiling and then lowering down. It's pretty small, so the movement's no bigger than 10 inches or so. Try and keep your torso upright. And then release. Hopefully you felt a little burn there. And we'll switch sides. So other leg straightens out in front of us. We're sitting tall, pulsing up and down. Again, the pulse doesn't need to be super big. Our torso stays still, the jaw relaxed. We're feeling the front of the leg really working. And release. Whew. Let's go ahead and now open up the legs nice and wide. So to get these legs nice and wide, depending on your chair, it might be more comfortable to scooch further back in your chair. Or if you have armrests, you might need to scooch further forward towards the front edge of the chair. So the knees are out wide and the toes are pointing out as well. From here, we lean to the right so that we start to stretch this left side body. You can stay here, or you're going to bring your forearm down to your leg. You can stay there, or to intensify the stretch, that left arm could reach up to the ceiling. It could also reach overhead. If either of those are too much, you could just rest the arm. So that's also an option. The arm doesn't need to come up, especially if you have a shoulder injury. Think about breathing into your side body, breathing into your rib cage. Relaxing the jaw. Feel that each time you inhale, maybe the stretch intensifies a little bit, gets a little stronger. And let's lift back up. And we'll go to the other side. So leaning to the left, you could stay on your hand. So don't feel like you need to go further. Forearm can come to an armrest or to your thigh. That's another option. We're trying to stretch now this right side body. Free arm can stay down. It can reach up to the ceiling. It can also reach overhead. Just be kind to your body. Find what works for you today. And then focus your breath into the side of your body, into your rib cage and into your waist. And then lift yourself back to center. Let's do some shoulder rolls forward and shoulder rolls back. So keeping our legs wide, let's let those shoulders relax. You can stay upright, or if it feels comfortable and it feels safe, so don't do this if it feels like you're gonna fall over. Go ahead and start to lean forward, bending those elbows. I'll just turn sideways so you can see a different angle. So legs are wide, or leaning forward. Just make sure that you're stable and safe here, so no need to overdo it. 2 more breaths. And then lift yourself back up. Bring those legs back together. All right, we're gonna stretch the right arm forward and the right leg forward. So right arm and right leg reach forward in front of us. And we're gonna circle our wrist and ankle one direction. And then circle the other way. Great, go ahead and release the arm and leg, and we switch sides. Other arm and leg extend out in front of us. Circle the ankle and wrist one direction. And circle the other direction. And then release arm and leg. We're gonna move to our standing part of class. This only happens for a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes. So just know that if you want to stay seated and do some seated stretches, that's fine. Go ahead and make your way up to stand. And we're gonna come behind the chair. If your chair is not movable, just make sure that you're near a wall or a table so that you have something to support you. I'm just moving the chair so that you can see me better. You don't actually need to move your chair. Great, so hands on either the chair or on your wall or on any kind of support. We'll step our right foot back behind us about 2 feet. Really give or take a foot because it just depends on how long your legs are and what feels safe on your body. All toes face forward, we bend the front knee. So as we bend into the front knee, you'll probably start to feel some stretch into the back calf, into that right calf. Feel free to keep your hands on your support, or if you want, you could hover your hands above the support. 3 deep breaths. Hands come back down to your support. Straighten your front leg, and then begin to hinge forward. Notice how your spine can either round or it can stay flat. See if you can keep your spine flat from moving and that the hinging forward is happening at the hips. So it's the fact that your pelvis is rolling over your thighs that brings you closer to your leg, not that your back is rounding. Hands can be on your chair or forearms can find the chair, whatever is comfortable here. So now the stretch is likely to be in the back of the front leg. So in the left hamstrings. Go ahead and place your hands on your support, straighten your elbows, bend your front knee and step forward, back foot meets the front. Switch sides, other leg steps back, so left foot steps back. All 10 toes face forward. We bend just the front knee. Our feet are about 2 feet apart, but it's really up to you how far you go. Feel free to keep your hands on your support or hover your hands above the support. Hands come back down, straighten out your front leg, hinging forward from the hips so the spine tries to stay the same as you lean forward. As you get closer to your right leg, the more stretch you'll feel. You can keep your hands on your chair or maybe your forearms find the chair. Think about reaching your sits bones, so those bones that you sit on, think about reaching those up towards the ceiling. That action of lifting them up should even increase the stretch more. Hands come to the chair if they've moved elsewhere. Lift your torso up, bend your front knee, and step forward. So from standing, go ahead and look at your feet for a moment. And let your feet be 4 to 6 inches apart. And see if your feet can be parallel so that the toes are facing straight forward in front of you. And then allow your arms to rest by your side. Feel your spine nice and long. And then without moving, notice, where does your weight distribute itself on your feet? So do you tend to lean to one side or the other? Do you have more weight forward or back or on one leg? Is it the same right to left, or is it maybe one heel and the ball of the other foot? Just notice, how does your weight distribute itself? And first see, can you find even weight? Right foot, left foot, front of the foot, back of the foot, nice even weight. Rounding down. And we're gonna add on. As we add on, if you feel like you're gonna lose your balance or if it feels challenging, just have your hands on your support, totally fine. We're going to lean forward now so that more weight is on the toes, less weight on the heels, but the heels are still touching the ground. We've just leaned forward, so there's a lot of weight forward. It's almost imperceptible. And then go ahead and lean back. So there's a lot of weight back into the heels, very little weight into the toes. Let's do that again. So leaning forward, weight forward into the balls of the feet, into the toes. Heels are just barely grazing the earth. And then weight shifts back into your heels. Balls of the feet are still touching the ground, but just barely touching the earth. One more time, leaning forward. You might feel your toes crunch up when you lean forward. And leaning back, you might feel those toes really want to lift off the ground when you lean back. Totally okay. And then back to center. Now we're going side to side. So go ahead and lean to one side. So now more weight's going into one foot. And then lean over to the other side. So you're going to keep going. You're going to keep leaning right to left here at your own pace. But see if you can keep the weight even front to back. So even if the weight shifts all the way over towards the right foot and to the outer edge of the right foot, can it be even ball of the foot and heel? All right, coming back to center, even weight, front to back, right to left. We're going to draw circles. So you're going to lean forward and then go ahead and start to shift over to your right. Start to lean back so you're circling so that you reach the back, so more weights in the heels. And then start to move to your left and then forward. Circle the other way. Weight goes over to the left And then back towards the heels. Over to the right. And forward. Let's find center. Even weight front to back. One more thing standing, and then we'll come back to our seats. Feel free to find your support with your hands. We're going to go into a little chair flow series. So we'll inhale, bend the knees, hips go back. You decide how low you go. And then exhale, straighten the legs, torso comes up. So this is option one, holding on. Inhale as we bend. Exhale as we straighten. If you want to add your arms, you'll release your support. As you bend your knees, arms reach up so that the biceps are by the ears. As you straighten the legs, arms lower. Inhale, bend the knees, chair pose, arms reach forward and then maybe up. And then exhale, straighten the legs as the arms lower. Remembering that the arms are optional, the legs are optional too. So maybe you choose to just do the arms if your legs are tired today. Or maybe you choose to make this really small. Maybe you're moving just 2 inches. A couple more times. Find that even weight right to left. And then notice how the weight shifts when you bend those knees. Does the weight shift a little bit back? Does it shift a little forward? Notice. I'm going to say there's no right or wrong, but we want that awareness of our feet. How do we ground into our legs? 2 more. Next time you're bent into a chair, we're going to hold for 3 breaths. Make this as small or as big of a chair as you'd like. And release. Release the arms, straighten the legs, shake it off. And let's go ahead and come back to our seats. All right, so from our seat, we're going to bend our elbows, palms face up. It's like we're holding maybe a platter in front of us. We're going to inhale, open up the arms, reaching those thumbs back. So you'll feel some rotation here, arm bones and the shoulder sockets. And then exhale, bring our arms towards each other, pinkies touch. So elbows are bent. Inhale, open up the arms, thumbs reach back. We're getting that nice rotation. And then exhale, arms come forward, pinkies touch. Keep going at your own pace. So we inhale when we open, and we exhale when we close. See if your bend in the elbows can be about 90 degrees. So instead of it being super bend or really straight, it's going to be approximately 90. A few more. Next time your arms are out to the side, we pause and then straighten your arms into a T position. We're going to take our left arm and flip the left palm to face down and then back. And then we're going to switch. So I have one palm facing kind of back, one palm sort of facing forward. And then we switch. Right palm faces back, left palm faces up. And we're just alternating here. So we're sort of twisting. It's like we're wringing out our shoulders, we're wringing out our arms. So we're twisting one way and twisting the other. If this feels like a little confusing, at the end of class, you can ask me about it and we can go over it in a little more detail. But we're just letting one arm rotate inward and the other rotate out. And so one palm is going to end up facing back and one palm is going to end up facing up. And then release. Let those arms go. Let's bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Let your shoulders relax. Stretch the side of the neck. And then bring your left ear towards the shoulder. Side stretch on the other side. The shoulders stay relaxed. And then bringing your head back to center. Let's stretch those glutes. So we have a couple of options here. You can cross your right ankle over your left ankle and allow your knees to open out. You could cross your right thigh over your left, or you can take a figure four, cross your ankle over your thigh. From here, maybe you start to lean a little forward from either or any of those variations. Begin to lean forward. As you lean forward, you might notice that the stretch changes. Allow yourself to take nice, smooth, deep breaths. Go ahead and lift yourself back up. Undo your legs. You can shake them off, maybe kicking the legs forward. And then we'll switch sides. So crossing your left ankle over your right ankle, letting the knees open, that's option one. Option two, you're crossing your legs, so left leg on top. Or option three, you're crossing your ankle, your left ankle over your right thigh, creating kind of a figure four shape or a number four shape that's upside down if you're looking at the number. You can stay upright if that's comfortable. You're also welcome to lean forward and increase the stretch. Keeping the jaw relaxed and letting your breath smooth out. Couple more deep breaths. And then coming up, undo those legs, shake them off. And then allowing both feet to firmly plant onto the mat, onto the ground. Bring your palms to touch, and let's rub the hands together. So create a little friction, a little heat. Keep rubbing, thinking you're creating a little energy, some positive energy and some heat. And then you're going to place your hands on your right leg. And just give your right leg a few squeezes, a little bit of love, a little attention. Just little squeezes. There's really no right or wrong. And then maybe brushing your right leg. Like you're petting your leg in a way, or you're brushing it. And then we'll come back up, hands come together, create that heat again, create that friction, that warmth, that positive energy. And then coming to your other leg, first starting with some squeezes. Just giving the leg a little love. Ah, thank you for holding me up throughout the day. Thank you for walking. Thank you for being able to get up out of chairs and back down, and then brush your leg. You can brush the fronts, the sides, the back. Hands come together again. Let's rub them, creating that nice warmth. And then we'll use our right hand on our left arm and give it some squeezes. Squeezing down the entire arm. You could even squeeze at the neck a little bit and the shoulder. And then brush your arm. Great. One last time, hands together, create that heat. Go to your other side. So maybe that's your left hand going to your right arm. Give it some squeezes, squeezing wherever you want. Maybe giving it some brushing. And actually, one last time with the hands together, create that heat. Nice, warm, lots of care. And then let your hands rest on your heart, one on top of the other. You can let those elbows relax. Feel free to close the eyes. Letting your hands just gently press to your chest. And see if you can feel maybe your chest moving as you breathe. Or maybe your attention could go deeper and you can feel your heart beating. Now, as you breathe, just sense that each time you exhale, your body softens. You let go a little bit of something that's not serving you. Inhale the good. Exhale, let go of what you don't need. And then bring your palms to touch in front of your heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. And thank yourself for showing up today to be here with everyone else. Without you, this class is not possible. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. Our move of the week is shoulder circles. So nice and simple. I want to encourage you to do some shoulder circles throughout the week, especially anytime you're feeling a little tense or tight. You can do some shoulder circles back. You can do some shoulder circles forward, just loosening up. You could even do one circle and then the other, or both arms at once. So move for next yoga. So not for next week, because next week is functional fitness, but for next yoga, shoulder circles. So I can open it up now if anyone has any questions or thoughts, anything they'd like to share. Now's your time. Vivi, I see you mouthing thank you. You're on mute, but I heard you. And then if you're trying to unmute yourself, bottom left-hand corner, you see this sort of microphone. If it has a kind of a red, if it's red and it has a slash on it, then you're muted. If you click on it, it'll turn maybe white or green, and then it will unmute you. Thank you for the comments. I set it up for my father and I ended up doing it. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. You can do a little family yoga. Oh, thank you for all the nice comments, everyone. And I see you've unmuted yourself. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how it works.
Well, you made it work. You unmuted it, so that worked.
So when I'm unmuted, that little microphone is not showing.
Oh,
Is that correct?
yes, on your, oh, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy your classes. It every week. it's a motivation to exercise. And it
Do
really
you
helps.
send it- I have a question.
Wonderful.
Does GoGoGrandparent send an email every week, or do we sign up individually every week? How do I,
Yeah.
or do I just come
Yes.
on Mondays? Or wait, today's Wednesday.
Yeah, so we do send invites every week to invite you. You are welcome to RSVP. We always like it because it gives us an idea of how many folks are going to join. If you didn't get a chance to RSVP and you realize you still want to make it, you can go back in that email from the invitation and just join. The most important thing is we want you to join. But yes, you get an email every week that these are available to you.
Well, what a surprise benefit. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. It's something new we're trying out just to see if we can help our GoGo customers get a little more, value from their membership and get the chance to meet each other and spend some time together. So I'm happy that you like it too. And V, my teammate, she just put in the chat, we have a Facebook group also that we have a community in. A lot of people from this call are there, but there's also some other people, other GoGo customers. So if you want to continue conversations or want a fun place on the internet to hang out, that's a good one. So there's a link to that there.
Oh, well, thank you very much. This is my first time here, and I really enjoyed it. That's Barbara Arno.
Oh, thank you,
Thanks,
Barbara.
Barbara. Great to have you for the first time. I hope we see you again.
I hope so, yes. Yeah.
Fabulous. So if no one else has any questions for Adria, I'll give it like maybe a couple seconds in case anyone wanted to say anything.
Thank you, Adra. See you next week.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Carol.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Adria. And we'll catch you all next week.
Great. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you. Bye.